କଣ ହେଲା ମନା କଲି ପରା। Good evening. Very good evening. This is Sangeeta Naik from my home office at Delhi. If you can hear me and see me clearly, give me a big hi at the comment box. And I thank you to be here, and I'm super excited to share with you some very powerful principles that I have undergone and learned from my professional life career that can help you become an engineer of growth in the next 90 days. In fact, you can start learning a part of it here in the webinar itself. If that excites you, type excited or ready to learn, whatever comes to your mind. This webinar can change you from just an employee to an achiever. It will help you stand out in a crowd of successful people in your organization. If you operate in a reasonably big setup that has lots of scope of growth, I assume that that is there, that is the case with you, and somehow you are stuck or not allowed to move, which can happen to anybody, anywhere, whether you are working in a small or a big space, or you are confused yourself. You can get confused with small scope or a very big setup. Then this webinar is for you to help you find out your unique roadmap, as I did. I worked for 6 organizations so far in the last 12 years, grabbed the most significant projects of the organizations, and in the process trained 18,000 professionals and colleagues who also are leading in their field. Worked in 16 states, directly or indirectly, and it has worked everywhere. Whatever secrets I'm going to share, that has worked everywhere. It still works since I have started my online journey as well a year back. So it will work for you too. That is what my assumption is. And that is why this effort of mine. By the time you leave the webinar, you will be a wiser person. It will be time well spent for you. Let's set some ground rules. There is no recording available to you, so you have to spend the time in the webinar till I'm here, so that you learn whatever you are supposed to. This webinar will be for 90 minutes, so you have to be here till that time. And if you have some appointments in the next 30 to 40 minutes, then please cancel all those appointments so that you don't have to leave midway, because it will waste your time. No use being halfway there, right? Half listening to whatever I have to say. So if you are going to stay here for the next 90 minutes, type I am in and have a notepad and pen ready. So that is because, like, each of us has come across like that. There may be just one idea in this whole conversation of mine that will change your life, the way you think. My mentor, Mr. Vijay Mahajan, a globally known finance person, was part of the Finance Commission also, was addressing a workshop once, and he was asking a team lead, you can handle things like a hero, but leave scope for your second line who may not be know all like you are, but they can be good leaders. So that was what I heard from a workshop conducted by my mentor. Likewise, you might have gone through several workshops, and this might be one because for some reason you are here. So be here. By the way, why do we focus on in correcting our weaknesses? Let us ask some questions. Each of us has some weaknesses, right? Can we not focus on our strengths and just accept and acknowledge our weaknesses? Can we not allow others to pitch where we can't? Do we allow? Why we don't allow often? So these will be my basic questions to you, which is why you need to listen to this webinar. So I learned one idea, and I learned the context of where I was going wrong. And then I expanded that particular idea to further learning, and that is what I have been using all my projects, whatever work I have been doing. And that is basically emphasizing my strength. Do you learn or do you learn anything from whatever I said just now? Or many more are going to come up during my discussion, because unwittingly I can share something which I might not be knowing, or suddenly it will strike you. So keep a notepad and pen ready so that you can take note immediately. The questions can be asked at the end. I have some FAQ ready, of course, for you, for your reference, but we can still take some time for questions. If you ask some questions in between, that will be like, say, it will hamper my flow. So let us keep that towards the end. And I need to show whatever I have to show for the next 90 minutes. So whenever I ask a question, do please respond so that I know that you are listening. And Please be engaged. Today, I shall be revealing a 4-step blueprint of leadership growth using resourceful influence, which is an unusual way to achieve significance, which leads to bigger achievement rate, which then leads you to growth. Ready to start? So who is this for? This is for mid-career professionals with self-confidence, motivation, personal development, trend setters, conflict resolution, people who are experts in all this, because after 5 to 12 years of experience, you know all these skills already, right? You are endowed with all these skills, but still you are feeling stuck and unfulfilled. Now let me ask you a question. What determines a good career? You will say it is about regular promotions, regular salary increase, better role, clear vision of the future, right? All this. So then I'd ask another questions to you. So if those are the things, then what are the factors which contribute towards dissatisfaction and stagnancy? Apart from us, I have seen some people who are regularly promoted, who achieve regular, if not in career, they are in their professional field, they are achieving quite reasonably. Still they are feeling unfulfilled or at times feeling stuck. Why so? So let me show you some industry data. Let me share the screen with you. So if you see the screen, then factors that causes dissatisfaction are like say various: company policy, supervision, relationship with boss, work conditions, salary, relationship with peers. All these are factors. And you might be reading also many studies that will be saying that improving the workplace situation is the best way to retain employees' interest. So let us go to the next slide. If you look at this one, let me make it full screen. So if you look at this one, this is called Herzberg's factors, which compares two sets of employees who find company policy to be destructive, and another set of employees actually find the same company policy to be constructive. So if you look at closely at this graph, company policy 26% say constructive, but 74% say destructive. Supervision 77% say constructive and 23% say destructive. Relationship with boss 38% say constructive, 63% say destructive. Work conditions 48% say constructive, 52% say destructive. So from this, what do you infer? This says that people with different personalities or experience, depending upon how they perceive the situation, depending upon their contribution in the company, the skill base, the major two things are like say the mindset, the way they are treated and they behave themselves. This determines whether one thinks the same factor to be constructive or destructive, right? And many other, of course, 86% people agree, according to World Economic Forum, that we have a leadership crisis. We don't have proper leadership. But here again, if you see, about 14% say that there is no leadership crisis. They are ready to lead, right? Then there is a closed mindset. People say that there is a lack of mindset. that actually falls short of giving strategic and cultural changes required to lead in the new digital economy. And if a person, an employee is stagnant for say 3 to 5 years, he is ready to change. But is change the only solution? Workplace issues are multiple, but how can an employee still grow? Because many of the employees we have seen in the previous graph that they are still growing, despite some people finding those factors to be very, very deterrent for their growth, right? So when I conducted a market research about my colleagues, so whenever I traveled in the bus, train, or even flights, I saw people cribbing about their workplaces, their bosses, and many other issues. And I tried to make them into a tree. And the issues are many. So the manifested issues are, if you see, the issues in the black are too little. These are the professional issues, but other issues are not professional issues. Those are mindset issues, right? So it has nothing to do with the workplace environment. It has everything to do with the personality of that particular person, which means that we are in control, whether it is a negative environment or not, whether people are negative at the workplace or not, whether we are appreciated at workplace or not. We have control over how things will go, right? So we just have seen that not all issues at workplace are related to work performance, but still they are negatively influencing influencing their work performance, right? So who am I? I'm Sangeeta, and I just a minute. I'm Sangeeta. I actually deal about resources and resourcefulness. I'm basically a strategic partnership consultant where I bring in people together who have different aspects of which leads to one common goal. Like, say, for example, affordable housing is one project, which is my latest project where I'm working. And housing has a supply side, demand side. So I bring all those partners together, and at one place I discuss the issue, which is of course, when you bring everybody to one place, then it becomes a very small issue. And I have so far trained 18,000 professionals to impact 1 crore lives. And why I'm doing this? I'm doing this so that mid-career professionals will achieve their potential by taking the right step all the time, away from negativity in life and distraction thereby. Global issues, they may resolve because we are not anymore just restricted to our own country. All the issues have gone global, like say climate change and climate warming. It is not that I am like this. I have been like this all the time. I started with a lot of conflicts, politics, and partiality at workplace, like anybody else. I was feeling angry and stuck. I was a rebel, but nothing worked. But when I did big projects, I learned to leave petty things behind. And then I started looking at a big vision that other people had. And that changed my mindset. So, not that workplace issues have ended, but those do not affect me anymore. And I can take action despite anything in a day. So how did I start? I start because as a child, actually, I was put down by my family. as not being a very talented person. So that is when I have been a rebel, and I am looking for recognition, of course. But going forward, when I was a brilliant student in the schools, school and colleges, but I no matter how hard I tried, the first 10, the rank in first to 10, in the first 10, it always escaped me. And my father told that it is not that your brilliance is any less, but it is just chance that somebody else has that position. So if you are not in the first 10, then nobody knows you, no matter how brilliant you are. So how do you display your brilliance then? How do you utilize whatever brilliance you have, whatever creativity you have? That you can do only when you impact others' lives. It is not by achieving your personal goals. Personal goal, this is also a personal goal, but it is not by establishing personal supremacy somewhere. It has to be impacting other people's life positively. That is the only way to get recognized. And if I'm looking for recognition, then I'm looking to make people's life better and better. And then something also my father told me, that people don't like to be kingmakers. They want to take all the credits all by themselves. So what happens is, there are two things he or she needs to do. He needs to do great things to impact lives, and also he has to be very careful about, he has to spend his or her energy to be recognized as well. So because he is doing it for himself or herself, for his own stake, so he has to do it all by himself only. Nobody else is going to make any contribution. So his energy gets consumed by that effort also. In the effort of getting the limelight all by himself, the person actually wastes his or her energy a lot. That is the second thing that I had learned, right? Then, as I told you, because in my first organization, I was very angry and very rebellious about the way things were happening. So I joined a big company. How did I join there? Because in one of the HR workshop, I was the participant from a very small organization, and there were two very senior people from a big organization where I ultimately joined. So there was no HR policy, it was a HR workshop, and I had to prepare my HR policy and present it to them. So I took one day and designed my HR policy, my organization's HR policy, and presented it. That is how I impressed the whole audience, including those senior people. And when I applied to that organization, I was selected for there. So let me share as to what all I have achieved since then, since 2008, since I joined that big organization. And of course, afterwards also, I have been working in a very big project. So here are the 5 big projects where I have impacted a lot of people, right? So the first one was the financial literacy program in Rajasthan, where 44 lakh lives were impacted because we were having this financial literacy campaign to open the bank accounts of 44 lakh women. And we did that with 12,000 professionals whom I trained. And that was very strange, because coming from a very small organization, what can proper planning and designing of a program can do. Even if you are very small and no experience prior to whatever you have been doing, still you can do this if you spend your time doing planning properly. Immediately after that, I got another project in Meghalaya, where 29 lakhs lives I directly impacted, and I trained 1,500 professionals. It was a kiosk CSC, Common Service Center program, where I set up 239 centers. Then the third is recovering, the tracking recovery of the microfinance debacle, where poor people were impacted because microfinance organizations were stopped in Andhra Pradesh, then Andhra Pradesh. Then subsistence to sustainability. This has been a signature project where I started to be known in that big company. It was a food scarce pocket, and it became food sufficient in just 4 years' time. In addition, there was a community-based organization of 500 women, illiterate women, who could handle 36 lakh corpus, which they generated and maintained. Then 300 FPOs all across India in 16 states I handled directly and indirectly, and training 3,000 professionals and 90 lakh lives. Then right now, I am doing a solar efficient, disaster resilient, sustainable, affordable housing, which will impact 37% population of India. So these are the big projects that I have started handling since 2008, even though I came from a very small organization. How did that happen, right? So let us see how I did that, which is why I think it is possible for me. So since it was possible for me, it will be possible for you also if you know all this. And my mission is to impact 1 billion lives by training 1 lakh super performing global players in 139 countries. And I have a system. A resourceful influencers club is my system. And in the next 1 hour, I can prove to you that you will get clues for some of your problems towards this and resolve that, to join me in this this journey of impacting lives in a huge way. So can I have your permission to display this? So this is about 4 secrets. The 4 secrets are, let me share the screen again. So the 4 secrets are a 2-step formula to package your USP and personality, which is about your unique success roadmap for you, befitting to your personality, in which we actually discuss about your strength and your aspiration, your responses, and this is about dealing and feeling, how you deal with people, what is your uniqueness, and what are your behaviors. Then the secret number 2 is it is a 5-step system to be resilient, wherein we will discuss about the wisdom to see the gift in pain. Suppose you are every day you might be coming across something which causes you pain. The way, suppose you are sidelined in a promotion, so that is pain. So why that pain happened? That is because just last 3 months I had this pain, right? I was sidelined. So what causes this pain? It gives you some hint to improve the way you work, where you work, and if this is the best decision, because my decision is to go global, and if I haven't decided to go global and think global, then this is the pain system. Then while you are doing it, you are not going to behave oddly with whatever system setup you are having, because that is the main point also I want to tell everybody, that the time you waste in complaining, you can utilize that time in doing something constructive towards your goal and your aspiration, so that you don't waste time. Then the third is to how you respond to the environments. Whatever is there is the best that you are, because you have to outgrow this environment, but still you are here. You have to be positive about the environment, because unless you are accepting this, you will not be outgrowing this, because with friction you will get more and more entangled into this particular system and you will never get out of it. Then the fourth is, when you are doing that, you have to be very empathetic towards whatever you are listening to and how you are dealing with people, because it might be friction with your seniors, juniors, peers. Then the courage you have to have. So the other day I was discussing with a client, and she has a very bad atmosphere at home, but she has an opportunity to go abroad to US. And when I asked, why not to go abroad? Why don't you decide to go abroad? Then she was saying, you are making fun of me. I was not. But to take that decision, you need to have that courage also to be a change maker. So these are the 5 steps of to be resilient. Then the secret number 3 is a 3-step system to implant influence on daily basis. How do you do that? So every day, whatever you are doing, you should influence somebody by being helpful to that person, by doing something very positive, very constructive to something, by handling a crisis. These are the ways to implant influence. And the secret 4 is life in perpetual transition. And so you need to grow beyond your immediate need. You know, no matter what, no matter how good you are right now, still life requires you to move beyond it. So let us let us go and see at the different secrets. Those are there with examples, so that you know what are those. So the secret 1, as I told you, it is about dealing and feeling and benchmarking behavior. Right? So what do you deal? So right now, your self-analysis, you are in a dilemma and feel not up to the mark, workplace politics, inability to find new opportunities. These are the dilemmas you are undergoing. Then what uniqueness you have, what differentiates you, skills, learning, experience, your way. Then the components of our existence, these are under the secret 1. How do you feel every day? How do you feel about yourself? How you assess yourself? That is about your uniqueness. And your credibility is how people assess you. And your dream is the depth, what impression you make. Everybody might be doing something great, but unless they have a vision, they are not going to impress. Your vision actually moves you, drives you towards the future and the goal and the greater aspiration that you have, your vision, right? And what are your dominant thoughts? Whether you have started looking inwards and you like say wade through difficulties easily, and if you are open to criticism. These are all self-questioning also, simple self-questioning you can do, like say whether you are handling time management well, whether you are handling relationships well, whether you are forcing yourself to do, or you are getting inspired to do something that you are doing, and whether you believe in, say, achieving something great, or you don't believe that you have that capability, whether you have work-life balance, whether you are procrastinating, whether you can do effective decision making, and what are your aspirations. Like say whether you can create this. This is something I have taken from somewhere, where it says that success is actually about your vision, education, objectives, ethics, strategy, inspiration, and partnerships. Partnerships I am already doing. Inspiration you need to get from your environment to do a bigger thing, despite all the negative, whatever negativity is going on. Then you need to have a strategy how to progress towards that. So these will be the stories of change, and all this will make you the person that you are, right? And focus on the benefits. Do you save time, money, efforts, and how? These are the self-questioning that you need to do. These are uh, in just in nutshell. So this will be the this thing. Then the response patterns will be like here. We will take Stephen Covey's the 7 habits. Out of that, we'll take the independence habit, which is the public victory. Think win-win. So if you are doing something, then when one side benefits more than the other, that is a win-lose situation. So always think win-win. Whenever you are winning, the other person also wins. If you have that mindset to give win-win, then the other person becomes a colleague, collaborator to you, right? Then the second is seek fast to understand, then be understood. What happens is people, most of the time, they have bigger pain than what is apparent to you. So allow the other person to speak out so that you can assess what pain the other person is undergoing. This is required to establish your credibility, your empathetic nature, and to establish you as a leader. Then the third is synergize with. You cannot have all the strengths in your life, right? So you need to have people who can complement and supplement your strength. So if you are able to leverage that, then you can synergize. So these are the three aspects of your habits, your personality, which you can undertake to define whatever personality you have been and now what you are aspiring to. You can change this easily with this change. So this is secret number 1. Let us go to secret number 2. This is about how to be resilient. As I discussed just now, it is about the wisdom to see the gift in pain, the sensibility required to handle adversity, the skill to respond to environments, the empathy to listen and understand stakeholders, the courage to be a change maker. This is about private victory. Dependence is a private victory. Be proactive, act on what you can control. You cannot control everything. So just be proactive. Whatever you can control, take the first right step. Don't wait for anybody. That is what proactive is. And this is under secret number 2. Dependence begin with the end in mind. So your big vision has to be there. So then there is a story wherein a professor asked the class. He shows a jar saying that how much space is there inside. So he puts the bigger rock first, then he puts smaller pebbles, then he puts sand, and in the end he puts water. Everything gets accommodated. The same with your work also. Choose the bigger work, significant work, then the less significant, then the less significant. Ultimately, everything gets accommodated. So you have to have that skill to decide which is the most important thing. then put first things first. This is the same story, that whatever you have, you need to learn that skill. So some people have a big to-do list, right? And there will be 30 items in that to-do list, and many of the things will get ticked. At the end of the day, many will not. But which are the very important ones which you will do, so that all those will be ticked ultimately or subsequently without you engaging in that. So if you start with the bigger important things, then your thing will get accomplished. And somebody, maybe Simon Sinek as one, who somebody asked him, you don't seem, he is the propagator of this 4 hours week, right? So whoever is that, I am very bad at names. So he says what? He says 4 hours a week. Do you know how much is that? Each of us actually work for, say, more than 8 hours in a day. That makes it to, at least if it is a 5 hours week, 5 weeks, 5 days week, then we at least work for 40 hours a week. So he just was with just 4 hours. So how does he do it? So he said he decides about the most 3 important tasks of the day, and that's it. He doesn't do anything. So he has this knack of selecting the most important task. That is what you need to learn, right? Then Stephen Covey is very famous for his quadrant of very effectiveness, wherein whatever is not very urgent but very important, you should be investing all your time in that. So whatever is not at the hand, just right now, nothing is there, but you are still anticipating beforehand and indulging yourself in doing that, then you will save a lot of time. There will be no deadlines for you. And in the process also, what you will do is you can empower other people to take care of your routine jobs, which is quadrant number 3, where you can routine jobs are something which are important, but not very important, but they require attention. So there you can empower people to take care of that, right? So this also you need to know. And if you are complaining that these are all the things which you cannot do all by yourself, and you cannot, things are not proper at the moment right now, then I'll just tell you to lead right from wherever you are, whatever stage you are. Just start out. If somebody has been bad with you, just decide that you will be friendly with that person right now, and you will start working on that. Immediately perspective changes at the other side also. The other person will get surprised at your motive, because any constructive thing, it will create, of course, suspicion for 1 or 2 days, but afterwards, if you have started contributing for his work, for his achievement also, definitely he's going to be a friend ultimately. So that is the first step. Winning people is the first step at workplace that you can do. And people are predictably different. All the persons, many people told me, right now also tell, that your workplace is very different than ours. We don't have that kind of positive environment. And people are complaining, criticizing something. So I would tell you, I'll suggest that some people are very different. Some of them will love challenges, so they will accept all the challenges that you have. Some will inspire you, pay attention and appreciate whatever you are saying. Some will say, do something which will teach you a lesson or teach you something useful. So it is your perception how you would take, whether they have taught you a lesson or they have taught you something useful. That is your take, right? So And some of them will ask right questions to you to help you find your why you are doing this. So one colleague I have, when she joined, she was asked to undertake a baseline survey, and she is from an insurance background, and this task she was assigned with, this had nothing to do with insurance. Still, whatever she is doing, it has nothing to do with insurance, but she has given another extra portfolio also in insurance, right? So people are different, and allow them to do constructive criticism as well, because this also tells a lot about their psychological safety. If you are sorry, if you are a leader, then you need to uh, give them that space to express themselves. And criticism is what partly conflicts are. Conflicts are there where people think that their opinion will not be judged. They might be wrong, they might be right. If you document their whatever perspective they have, then it will benefit you ultimately. The people will also feel that they are heard and they know, right? And so allow, accept people however they are. Then there will be insecure colleagues. I had a boss and she always liked whatever I do, but she was kind of jealous also. I think so. And today she is a very good friend of mine. So when the MD of the company, every day I reached office at 8:30 a.m. So before me joining the company, the MD was reaching at 8:30, but by 8:25 I am always there. So when the MD came into the office, he always found me there in the office. So he was greatly impressed. So he called my boss and told that your team is very punctual and they are very disciplined and you will do great in this company. So, and he pointed out about me, and he asked my boss whether she, Sangeeta, wants to pursue a PhD, I'll sponsor. So that made my boss insecure. So insecurity is a reflection. She didn't allow me to pursue my PhD, but I don't miss my PhD anymore because I have a greater goal to do. So it tells about them. It is not about you, right? Confident self. I do not need your approval, darling. That is for insecure people. So that is what I told her, that I know what I am worth, because that is why she also appreciated me. Many people appreciated. I didn't need her approval. So also you need to tell this to yourself and start the journey. Success won't come in a day. If you think that because you have changed your mindset right now, it will start coming in, the success will start coming in a month, it will not happen, but gradually it will come. One day you will find yourself successful. And it is a gradual journey, so you have to allow that time. But if you don't allow to take the first step, then of course you are not going to get there, right? And this is not just one time. You have to do it again and again and again. The person that you have befriended, that person may not be there in another place. There can be an entire new team, and you have to do the same thing with your mindset. So if you have that mindset to befriend everybody, then you will do this ultimately, and you have to do this time and again. And if Karl Popper says, it is not about the absence of knowledge, it is not that you don't know, but if you refuse to acquire the new knowledge, that is what ignorance is. So always try to learn new thing from everybody, because that will encourage you, tell you, and make you more knowledgeable and get good at thinking of others. This is when Dale Carnegie, he says, his chapters about how to win friends and influence people. He says the baseline is get good at thinking of others. You need to accept them genuinely. That is how you influence people. And living a life of significance, it is not going to come towards you. You have to run towards it. Feel, act. Feel, think, act. Or think, feel, act. So first think, feel, act. But make it just instant, so that the person in front doesn't feel the time lag. It has to be instant. If you can see here, there is a knowledge, there is an experience. Knowledge plus experience, it becomes creativity, right? So whatever knowledge you gain, you add experience to it, then you can mold it accordingly towards your creativity. If life seems hard, then try changing perspectives. This is what I tell. There are, if you change your perspective, your action, your habit, your attitude, then I call this as AHAP method. Everything else change. If opportunity doesn't knock at your door, build a door. This is what Milton Berle says. This is all about mindset. Great decision-making process with poor outcome, what do you suggest? Mark Robinson asks a question. Great decision-making process with poor outcome, or poor decision-making process with good outcome? See, if the process is strong, then even if it is poor right now, the outcome is not what you had expected, but the process will take you through, right? So how it was for the people who were trained by me and impacting life. So let us see about how I had achieved those things, but how I had achieved. I achieved because I trained people. So this is here my credibility as a coach comes, as a mentor comes. This is the farmers of Manpur where I had worked, where the food scarce pocket. These photographs will be from there only, because I haven't kept photographs of other places here. So the then chief minister, this is in 2014. Let me show you 2013. So this is in 2013 when my farmers were recognized by the then Chief Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, because of their extraordinary work towards improving their own livelihoods. When MG Narega didn't work there, people started doing this hybrid mustard, because it is the place didn't have much irrigation as well, but what these people did were hybrid mustard was something which required very little irrigation after the fruiting stage. So they actually broke the record of Madhya Pradesh in mustard production. They had 12 quintal minimum and 24 quintal maximum. This was estimated by the Vice Chancellor of Jabalpur, Jawaharlal University, Agriculture University at Jabalpur. Then one lady, because of her concept of micro capital, she पूंजी ही सब कुछ है. That is what he told, and she won this award of 1.5 lakh cash out award. And that is the district collector of that Umaria district who is there. And this is the these are the two segments of that particular federation of ladies. There were two wings, and these are the board members of that particular federation, which has 36 lakh of purpose generated within 4 years of time. This is again Devti Bai who won that award, cash award, and she was felicitated by the then industry minister, Mr. Anand Sharma. This is another farmer who was recognized for his beekeeping and other agricultural skill by MS Swaminathan Research Foundation. This is very recent. One of my mentee, she has written very good, eloquent words about me, about the way I had coached her, mentored her. This is another client of mine who was not having any job for last 2.5 years in COVID situation. He has started getting calls after my orientation. Then let us go to secret number 3, which is about how to implant influence. How do you do that? So every week, these, of course, the segment of secret 3 is about practicing mindfulness, turning a negative story to positive one every week, pursuing a passion, integrating your own passion with an organization innovation. These are all about secret number 3. And how do you do that? If you if you empower yourself by updating yourself with the latest of whatever you know, and dependence is the, as I said, dependence is about you. Independence is the attitude of I, and interdependence is the attitude of we. You need to learn this. The third is the interdependence. Of course, you cannot do everything on your own, so you have to have a team. You have to have collaboration. You have to have partnerships, right? So this is all about secret number 3. And let us see the case studies. What is a bad boss doing to your career? Bad support, but what you can respond? You can respond to him by teaching him. You can show his strength to him. You can make him updated. Then you can help him taking a decision, and you can teach him a new skill, which whatever skill he or she has that has become obsolete. That is how you can treat a bad boss. Help him. Then put yourself in the shoes of an obsessed boss and why he is obsessed, and you will know and empathize with him. Then this is the third thing. How would you deal with a boss who before hiring you was desperate about his not being able to get any time, and now because you are here, you are sharing limelight along with him, so that is why it is ailing him. How do you deal with this? Learn that under secret number 3. Then here is another example wherein Julie is a candidate who is required by the vice president of the company to be promoted. But Julie's immediate boss doesn't want, because she is not a very friendly, approachable person. Now the boss brought in the HR executive, and the HR executive asked her, I know you are a high performer. Do your colleagues accept you as a leader? If you are in the same position, then choose your perspective as well. This might be your situation as well. Then this is the case study number 4, wherein Marco's boss, Marco is a subject matter expert, and his boss comes in one day and tells him, you should be a specialist by now. Now Marco is in a dilemma. Is it a promotion? It is a higher responsibility. I'm already an expert. Why does he want me to be a specialist now? Or is it a process to be sidelined, right? So if you are in that position, how do you interpret this kind of situation? Case number 5. Sumesh is an executive and Philip is a senior. And somehow Sumesh found out what Philip was interested in. And of course, the common interest was charity. Now, both of them have started doing that. And in the process, they have developed a business relationship. Do you do this? Or what do you think about this? Then the next is, suppose you were asked to do a visioning exercise. How do you do it? Start from today or start from the future backwards? So you will start planning from 10 years backwards to this date, or from today to 10 years hence. So the style is about version jump. With your you always set your goal to something which is a little beyond you. So how would you get there? By transforming yourself, right? So that is called a version jump. Do you do that? So that is, if you do, even if you succeed partially, then also you influence people, right? So these are a few of my own achievement. Best story, then in a mint, then with Professor Muhammad Yunus, because I talk about social enterprise. So these are my bigger visions, right? And I'm already progressing, right? So, and this recently I was speaking along with the Finance Secretary of Orissa, as I was a speaker as well. So this is about influence. And secret 4 is life in perpetual transition. So what happens today, even if it is a great success, this success will not continue forever. So life will ask you to move forward, move on with something, because you are not going to be there. And life brings in pain because it wants you to move on, to progress. And if you have, for me, of course, when I say you, I tell it to me. If there is a pain, then I need to look around and see what is beyond there, what I am not able to see right now. That is what the job of a pain is, job of an adversity is. So start taking cognizance of those situations, learn something. So I am learning to be an online coach. So I'm learning how to be it, along with 𝐲𝐽𝐪𝐿, who already has 12,000 to 14,000 students. And this is my immediate mentor, Vivek Mehrotra, who teaches me law of attraction. This is what his dream is, and this enthuses me a lot, encourages me a lot. And this is the Freedom Finisher Award. Just recently I had, I have been with various mentors who have been teaching me on this. So this is a regular process of training that I am undergoing. This is just today I got this testimonial from a client who says that you are an awesome coach and I'll be working with you soon. That is what. Then what all you will do as a result of this 4 takeaways, right? So what do you think? Do you think it will be possible for you as well to learn and teach and implement and make success possible for others? So let me show my the course, the system, and the curriculum. So this is my flagship course, Leadership Growth Blueprint, along with resourceful influencing, and 5 bonuses, right? And this is designed to endow you with resourcefulness. My flagship course is meant to make you be the person you are meant to be, stand out in a crowd, being a person of solution, be the one you need to be resilient, persistence and consistent, sought after, irrepressible, and live on the edge, transition, always adapt transition, and most preferably embrace an entrepreneurship. That is why an entrepreneur they do always live on the edge. And this is a 3-day course. So the first day, day one will be like this: why resourceful influencing is necessary for you, core values, standing out in a crowd, goal setting, stories of resourceful influencing, unusual leadership types. And to supplement that, we have 5 more supplements which will be in triplets to supplement your the day one's learning, which is I call as Mirror Muse, an in-depth system to draft an identity upgrade, strength, niches, and USP. So what all characteristic you should have. Then day 2 will be 4 skills to be successful: recognizing belief and behavior patterns, core values for 90 days, base quality towards resourcefulness, trust building, and team acceptance. Again, we have 5 triplets kind of study, which I call a sneaky schedule, and it is about turn the tide. Heeding to intuition ahead of evidence is an ethereal strategy to win confidence. So listen to your intuition. How do we do that? This will be a supplement. This is about growth, right? Day 3 will be journey towards, in fact, these 4 secrets I call as like say your uniqueness, your resilience, your acceptance, and your influence. So day 3, journey towards a desired goal, learning pattern and journaling, add value and solve problems, contribution as a team member, behavior versus growth, affirmation, and new success. Again, there are 6 triplets. This we call as influence and golden gambit. Bit-size changes in temperamental traits, behavior, action, perception, and attitude. This is what is the 3rd day curriculum. Then every week there will be 14 days of courses. Every 14 days, of course, every group will not take all these topics here outlined, but there is the scope of these many topics. Whichever group chooses the prominent topic for that week, we can take that. And the 14 days, each day, one of the topics will be our main core discussion. This will be periodical self-analysis. And the topics are shifting paradigm, mindset for greener opportunities, find your vision and decide your version, taking action right away, money management talks, take a stand and stand by it, constructive exchange to improve adversity quotient, small action step to the journey of 1,000 miles, trust in relationships, hands-on before automation, right? Then turning a negative story to positive, situational analysis, setting a positive intention, ultimate identity, decision making, then creating a mindset document, setting a continuous practice, getting to an enterprising hub, rewarding self, listening exercises, creating a success blueprint. And this is a dream tracker that I have for myself, and we can create one for yourself, you also. This is a 10-year spanning goal tracker I have. I don't say that I have achieved anything as yet, but I am on my way. Things will not happen the way you outline, but this is an outline, right? And they will happen in a very different way, maybe, but it doesn't matter as long as you are on the track, right? And the 5 bonuses are internal patterns. It deals about thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors, mindset at workplace, change in the 90-day goals. Each time your 90-day goals doesn't come about, you have to outline whatever goals you have achieved, and then change the 90 days goals with the experience of this week. And then along with that also we have periodical self-analysis, which is about permit yourself to dream, higher self-esteem, loser to winner and achiever, victory over change, comfort zone syndrome, natural abilities, core competencies, touch base with your strengths at the moment of despair, seva, give when you want to receive, flat out fantastic next right step, Examine past conditioning blockage. Mindfulness is the second bonus, which deals about pause as a reaction, silence as a reaction, being in gratitude, plan A, B, C, ambiguity. And there is periodical self-analysis also along with this, the thought process, belief system, behavior patterns, rewriting the story every fortnight, craft your commitments, clarify your priorities, because if you start writing your priorities every day or in every week, what I do is every 3-4 days I do. So my priorities change. So along with that also the way you execute your plans also change. So keep track of that. If you keep on writing, then the clarity will be there. The more you write, more clarity will come. If you keep inside your mind, then it will all get jumbled up and it will confuse you. So please keep writing. Observation and implementation, dancing of strategic and imaginative brains. Go abstract, create a guardian angel mastermind. I have my mastermind consists of 5 people. One is Sri Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar. The second is Albert Einstein. Third is Abraham Lincoln. Fourth is Sri Krishna. And fifth is my own mentor, Mr. Vivek Mehrotra. Right? So what I do with them, that also will be teaching in the course, how you can have your mastermind and also take their wisdom for your purpose. Appreciate the present circumstances, grow digitally competent. This is the day of technology, so you should know about your whatever competency you have or you have become obsolete. Innovation is an all-pervasive mindset which sips into all thoughts and attitudes. So maybe we can give fancy titles to all the subjects, but these were the raw subjects which my students, my clients have been discussing. So that is what I have just compiled. And I am giving you a choice to choose from this or take everything. For everything there we can have something for you to learn. And the third bonus is process versus result. Why I have done this is process is more important than results. So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But if your process is very strong, then there is more chances of you winning. And even if you don't win ultimately, it doesn't bring disgrace to you, because the best out of the best 2, it will be just a split-second decision in the favor of this or that team that winning is decided. It is not a disgrace, right? So you need to understand that. So the topics are tracking along race system, inherent attitude, elevate standards, mindset reset, facing criticism, core intentions. And the periodical self-analysis is make it possible in time, maintain high standards, being interested. If you are interested, standards goes high. Do you know that? If you don't know, this will interest you. Manage time by delegating, which my colleagues volunteer to undertake. Musings about life lessons without any utterances, milestones as a result of the process. Then next bonus is delegate appropriate, talent nurturing, mapping HR. This is about empowering and inspiring and allowing people to be themselves, so that you can, from the quadrant 3, you can give people the responsibility to take care of many of your work, right? So I'll tell you, this is something about me, but it might interest you. So as a manager, I never, whenever there is a monitoring team visit, nobody sees me shouting at people, do this, do that. That is not my style. Everybody is so very confident about his or her role that they do it effortlessly. At the same time, they are part of the meetings. and they whatever charge, like say somebody is cooking the meals, somebody is bringing the refreshment, somebody is mobilizing people, somebody is thinking about the vehicles that will take to the field visits. Everybody is doing his or her own part without me being concerned during those times. So this I call as silent leadership, where I empower people to be leaders, right? So because of that, I have created this bundle, role assignment according to their own strength. I know who has what strength, and whoever I coach or mentor, I also want those people also to recognize the strength in other people, right? What we achieve is secondary to how we achieve, right? The way we do is very, very important. And the last topic in this is acknowledge contribution. Anybody and everybody, whoever does something which enhances your own influence should be acknowledged. And the periodical self-analysis on this is developing leadership traits. Do I have leadership ability? If you ask that question, then we need to also analyze this and explore within ourselves whether I have or I don't have. Am I a thought leader? Do I inspire? Because of these questions, we are feeling stagnant, right? Tactical moves or strategic moves. Am I a change maker? Is my long-term goal outlined? Should I initiate strategic moves? Do I trust teammates? What strategic partnerships I should forge? Do I invest in team building, conscious decision making? The next is joypreneurship. This is about enterprise, which will come with a passion. That is why it is joypreneurship. Creative diversion, whatever interests you, you need to take a diversion along that line. Investing in a new skill, monetizing the skill, social cause, it has to impact people. That is where I started. So it needs to impact people, otherwise it is not going to be fulfilling. As Tony Robbins says, success is science of achievement and art of fulfillment. So please keep that in mind, inhabit the world. You are a global citizen. You are not a citizen of your own country or state. And the periodical self-analysis therein is, can I integrate global teams? What strategic partnership I should forge? Assessing inner gap, equality, inclusion, and empathy. Is mine an overarching commitment across team, organization, and the goal? Conscious decision making, it also comes here. Positive formulation of the day. Do you know, when you wake up in the morning, you can decide how your day will be. So don't be apprehensive. Just outline anything positive that comes to your mind. And trust me, your entire day is going to be on that line only. So you have that power. So outline your day in a very positive manner. The first thing you wake up in the morning. Communicating with nature, that is how you feel close to nature and you feel in unison with the universe, right? Self-intention before calling it a day. Set intention before calling it a day. So when you go to sleep, for the next morning, set intention that your day will be very, very positive next day. Innovative leader. So how innovative you have been during the day. And this is the whole bundle I call as leadership growth blueprint bundle. And this comes with these kind of values. We grow inner strength, building credibility, being resilient, implant influence, and anticipating and preparing for change, along with influencing with resourcefulness. till the moment we are here at the right at this moment, we have to be very positive. No use being jealous or negative or cribbing about the situation that we are in. We have to find the positivity here, right itself. Otherwise, we cannot outgrow this situation, right? If we are wrong, or if we are right, whatever situation we are in, we need to be very positive to outgrow it. Otherwise, we will not be able to outgrow this. We will get entangled with this. This is the second time I am reiterating this fact. So that is the reason why you should take this bundle. And as you see, the entire bundle is of 59,994. And what will be the ultimate result? So if you broadly outline what result you will be getting, this is about daily success stories, worry-free existence, career victories, and ever preparedness. And results every week in the 14 weeks that we'll be working through is finding your USP, decide if you are doing what you are doing, you like doing, then making the mindset documents that will be what we'll be doing, that outline we will make, know the person you are at the moment, winning trust of seniors, understand their vision, winning trust of peers, resolve the gap in perception. And the same thing goes with juniors also. Resolve your gap in the perception. They might be thinking something, you might be thinking. This misunderstanding has been the core of professional stagnancy. That has been my experience and might be your experience as well. And once resolved, this becomes the greatest experience of all. We start enjoying it. Then goal setting, dream like a wild bird. Dream tracker, put a time frame to your dream. Turning a negative story to a positive one instantly. The moment you face a negative thing, immediately, if you practice that habit, then immediately it becomes positive. The moment it becomes positive, the same moment it influences a person into positivity. And that person, instead of being an enemy, becomes a collaborator, a friend. So that magic also we'll see. Reinforcement of positive thoughts, shifting paradigm, attitude, and perception. So as I said, this is all about attitude, perception, habit, and action. Basically that, not skill, experience, or qualification. These are the mindset, attitude. And you might have heard that people get fired not because of their ability. They are fired because of their attitude. So this is what we'll be learning a lot about our own perception, habit, attitude, and actions. And then creating a success blueprint, clarity about the current workplace issues. We can have a roadmap how to outgrow this or improve this. Confidence installation, proactive, not reactive. So we should there to solve a problem, then to create a problem, right? Mindfulness, be empathetic, listen to the other person, what he is saying. Is there a problem? It doesn't have to be something of resentment. It might be something about helplessness. So let us listen to that and try to help him out and get helped ourselves in the process. And then transition map, integration of passion and emotion with work. This will be the 14 tangible result that we'll be having. And today's price is 5999 webinar price. So if you think that this entire curriculum is useful, so you can go ahead and sign in for this, and this will definitely be useful for you. Like say whether you use it for today at one go or keep it for reference for later use. It is going to be useful. Like say every Every 14 weeks, there will be a new batch coming in, and all the recordings of those classes also will be updated here, uploaded here in this course. So get in, and it will always be renovating itself into a newer version every 14 weeks as soon as a new batch comes in. So these are the 14 results by every week, and it will be, the webinar price is 5999 per head, just that. So if this interests you, then you can go ahead and register for this webinar, for this course, and I'll see you in the class. Thank you.